Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to the world premiere of the new film by Rodrigo García, Raymond and Ray. My name is Cameron Bailey. I'm the CEO here at TIFF. I'm very happy to see all of you here. It's just been such a thrill to see the theaters full, the streets full of people out watching movies again. We have missed the full activity of the festival, and you being here is a big part of us coming back, so thank you. I want to also thank some of the people and partners who make everything we do at TIFF possible, beginning with our lead and major sponsors, Bell, RBC, Bulgari, and Visa, for their continued support. And thanks also to our supporters on the public side, the Government of Canada, the Government of Ontario, Telefilm Canada, and the City of Toronto. Did I just hear a whoop for the Government of Ontario? Cool. Love it. A reminder that this film is eligible for our most important prize. That's the People's Choice Award at TIFF. You vote for it. The way you do that is you go online to tiff.net/vote. Please don't forget to vote for your favorite films. Big thanks to Apple TV Plus for providing us with this film. They've been great partners of ours, and they have such a terrific lineup, including Raymond and Ray this year, so very glad to have them back. And thanks also to Sun Life. They're the gala sponsor of tonight's film. I think they're in the house. Sun Life right up front here. Thank you for all of your support, and welcome to all of the guests of Sun Life this evening. And also, a special welcome to the guests of Real Magic who are in our audience tonight. If you're part of the Real Magic crew, thank you for being here. We are thrilled to have Rodrigo García back at the festival. He's been here a number of times. Maybe some of you will have seen his films, Mother and Child from 2009, Albert Nobbs with Glenn Close premiered here in 2011, Last Days in the Desert in 2015, Walking Out in 2017, and just 2 years ago, 4 Good Days. He makes films with remarkable insight into how we behave as human beings with the people we love the most, and sometimes the people we love the most are the people who are the most challenging for us, and that's what makes a great Rodrigo García movie. And in this case, he's put together a terrific cast, including Ethan Hawke, Ewan McGregor, Maribel Verdú, Sophie Okonedo, and more. We're thrilled that he's come to introduce the film to you tonight. You're the very first audience to see it. Please join me in welcoming Rodrigo García.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, everyone at the festival. This is still a great festival in which to premiere a movie. Enthusiastic crowds, unpretentious crowds, knowledgeable crowds. Thank you very much. I'm gonna move a little quickly so that we can have time to screen, and then at the end we can have questions and complaints. Raymond and Ray has been really one of the great professional experiences of my life. I want to thank the Apple Original Films family, Matt, Elena, and Aldo in particular. Thank you very much for your support. My 3 producers here are Julie Curtis, Bonnie Curtis, and Julie Lynn. I've only made 11 movies with them. Say hello to them. And also Alfonso Cuarón, who could not be here tonight. Wow. Okay, we have some cast and crew are here also. I don't want to run in, but just to mention a few, our editor, Michael Russi, our casting director, Heidi Levitt, Jeff Beal, our composer, our XP and line producer, Shay Kammer, they're all here. What a cast. I highly recommend it. One of my favorite actors, Vondie Curtis Hall. Maribel Verdú. Sophie Okonedo. And the two best half-brothers a director could wish for, Ewan McGregor and Ethan Hawke. Let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Please join me in welcoming the writer and director of Raymond and Ray, Rodrigo García. And the stars, Ewan McGregor, Ethan Hawke, Maribel Verdú, Sophie Okonedo, Vondie Curtis Hall, and the producers of the film, Vondie Curtis and Julie Lynn.
Thank you for staying. Thank you, everyone, for staying.
Congratulations to all of you on this terrific film. Feels like a film that we need. We've been through a lot over the last 2 years, and we've been through a lot with our families, because sometimes we had no choice. We were with our families. And I want to ask you, Rodrigo, in writing this film and choosing to make this film now, and that particular dynamic between siblings especially, what was it that made this the story you wanted to tell now?
Well, I mean, you know, family is the inexhaustible terrain. I mean, there's no, you know, I remember when the digital and the platforms, people were saying, what's going to be the future of film and TV? And I kept thinking, storytellers are not going anywhere. And family is the terrain. You know, I'd done mothers and daughters. I'd done, you know, couples, women, you know, relationships between women. And I was very ready to look at guys and how guys communicate with each other and communicate with their feelings when they even acknowledge their feelings. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's really the area that I like to go back to as frequently as possible. I mean, I can't help it. I can't even choose it. I just can't help it.
And putting this cast together, I want to ask you about the two brothers and getting Ethan and Ewan to play them as guys who seem to be opposites. They've created their personalities in opposition to each other in a way, and yet there's something that is such a strong bond between them as well. And that's an interesting kind of dynamic to play both the opposites and the similarities.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'd worked with Ewan just before, and, you know, whenever I'm starting a movie, the first thing I think of is, well, who that I've already worked with and loved could be this? And, you know, I thought of Ewan, and he read it right away and was very enthusiastic. And then Ethan was someone we both liked, miraculously. And I don't know, for some reason, the three of us, and I'll speak for you because it's what men do, you know, the three of us always thought, oh, they could be brothers, half-brothers. It was something, there was like a chemistry there that we believed in, and I think it paid off. And, you know, they brought a lot of the humor in the movie, for sure.
Ewan and Ethan, I want to ask you both about creating your dynamic on screen together, which is so kind of full of, you know, contest and physical fighting and all those kinds of things, and yet there is something that you recognize, your characters recognize in each other as well.
Yes.
Ethan?
I will say it was a real pleasure to watch it with all of you here tonight. And what Ewan said to me, when our performances work in relationship to each other. They don't work on their own. We're witnessing them, that dynamic, the family dynamic. I mean, it's corny, but they are two halves of some whole. And I found it was really fun to watch with you all, to see Raymond in relationship to Ray. I mean, Your character was amazing. You did such a good job. I really, I have to say, when we were doing it, I was really worried about what I was doing. And tonight I was like, damn, he's a good actor.
It was just such a joy. We've known each other for a long, long time. We met when...
We don't remember when we met, but we
No.
know the months that it happened. There's some blurry
Ethan
days.
made a movie called Gattaca with Jude Law.
It's screened right here.
Did it screen in this
right
room?
here.
And so Jude and I were mates, and we all must have hung out then, and neither of us can remember quite where it was, because it was in the 90s, you know, so... But we've known each other since then, and we've bumped into each other over the years in different occasions like this, passing in corridors on the way in or out of interviews. And I've always felt a real sort of connection to Ethan just in terms of his work and the people he's worked with and the movies he's made and the way he seems to go about it and the way he lives his life. And I've always imagined we would work together. And it's just taken a long time for it to happen,
but it was worth the wait.
I'm glad it was this one, yeah. There's something from day one that was there because of your writing. It's beautiful, beautiful writing. For an actor, I think you read the script and you're like, oh my God, let me get my hands on this.
And then, you know, he didn't let us down because you're only, you know, it's so important with a movie like this, everybody has to hold center stage and carry the torch at different points of this relay race. And it was such a joy to be there, and Vondie, to have you come in, have all this supporting cast that we had that buoyed us. And you know, and that's in the writing too. There's no character that's a cliche. Everybody is three-dimensional. Everybody's a human being, which helps the whole world building. And it's one of those things that can happen on a movie. You feel like you're completely in your character, and then somebody else is, well, now I'm sounding like an asshole. But I was going to say, somebody else is miscast, and the whole thing's for naught, you know? I mean...
Well, you know, what's great
but it
is
does
that
happen.
This is clearly the story of two brothers, but Maribel and Sophie and Vondie, each one of you has at least one scene where you are the center as well, and you bring that extra dimension into the film. And I want to ask you, who were not the leads in the film, but you're doing terrific work, what was it like to be a part of this ensemble and to work with Rodrigo on the film? Sure. Maribel, you can start.
Okay, actually, Rodrigo didn't want to give me many clues about Lucía. When I asked him about her, he said to me, I just want Lucía to be many, many women in one. Okay, thank you very much.
Also spoken like a man, I think.
I was looking forward to working with him, so, okay. Vale.
Well, she did it.
Yeah. And I decided that Lucía was, okay, eccentric and funny and grounded and maternal and practical and understanding, no? What I like the most about Lucía is that she never judges anyone, and I think it's so important that.
Thank you. Sophie.
For me, I just working with some of my favorite actors that I've wanted to work with for a long time, and with an amazing director, and I just got to sort of sit back and watch amazing performances around me all the time. So that was really enjoyable. I had a wonderful time doing the film.
I have one. Hello? Hi. For me, it was great. It started with the script. Rodrigo sent me the script and said, I want you to do this movie. And I read it. I thought it was so funny and poignant, and just the relationship of Ray and Raymond I thought was really wonderful. And then he said that Ewan and Ethan are doing it. And then I didn't know Maribel and Sophie were doing it until later. And I just said, great, yes, I want to do this. I hadn't worked with Rodrigo before. We've known each other maybe 20 years or something like that. And I've been a big fan of his for many years. And so it was great to to get together and finally work together.
I have to say that, you know, I wrote Reverend West, and I mean, he has specific actions there, and he's a reverend, but I had no idea who Reverend West was till Vondie came in with that wardrobe. And I thought, okay, and I said, Vondie, what? And he said, oh no, there's quite a few reverends in my family. I know who this guy is. And I said, you go for it, brother.
Nice. Julie, Bonnie, this film, I imagine, was made during the pandemic, and it has, I think, a scope that I can imagine it being possible to shoot, but there are incredible challenges as well. Can you talk a little bit about how you actually build something in the middle of all of these restrictions and make it still feel like it's open and has that kind of the freshness that you need? It feels like it's not a movie that feels contained in any way, but I wonder if you had to make certain decisions to make the production work.
Well, we had a COVID coordinator, very important. I think actually it never really felt like we were struggling with it so much, right? I think it was maybe one of the most joyful experiences that somebody could have going to work, despite the pandemic. And everybody here just took care of each other, and there's a bunch of people who worked on the movie that are here, and everyone just took care of each other and did the rules, right? These guys had to be taken care of because they had to be without masks. We wore masks all the time and never took them off. And the movie never went down for a day. And Apple set it up so we could do it, so we could make art together. And it's really rare that you have that many great people on one production. And I wish we could just do it again.
We should again thank Apple, of course. I did at the beginning, and Alfonso Cuarón, our other producer. His name was drowned when I switched your surnames, but he's in production in Italy. But obviously, you know, a great filmmaker, and his input was, you know, excellent and painful.
We maybe have a little bit of time.
I just want to say a couple things. I think we have Maxim, who played Simon. Are you here? Maxim, stand up for a sec. Yeah? Up
here?
Yeah. Okay. I think the Chris's are here who played the twins. Are they here? Yeah?
Hey.
Yeah?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
And also Angie, who had the crush at the funeral home. Yes.
We have time for maybe one or two questions from the audience if you have a question for Rodrigo or anyone up here. Okay. Yes.
I was just wondering, Ethan and Ewan, do you think when it comes to motivation for Raymond, do you think that Raymond would ever tell his brother about the letter?
Would Raymond ever tell his brother about the letter?
I don't think so. I don't think he will. He's his brother. You know, it doesn't really matter what his asshole father says in the letter.
I have to say that question divided the crew. Half of them said, yes, he will. No, he won't. It was a whole argument.
Yes, go ahead.
My question is for Ethan. I was wondering if you could maybe share with us what was the most challenging part about bringing this character from script to life?
The question is for Ethan. What was the most challenging part of bringing this character from the script to screen?
I think you see tonight that one of the things, the movie is about people. And when we as actors read that kind of material, in general, I respond, and I think a lot of actors do, really positively. There's so many jobs we have where we're in service of the plot. We're just designed to sell something and achieve something. And Rodrigo gave us a chance to create three-dimensional people where what the movie's really about is the people and their emotional experience. And when I do work like that, I really want it to work. I want audiences there's a tremendous energy to sell movies with big stories and big dynamics. And I want when people take time in their lives to sit down and witness movies that are more like normal life, that our lives are actually full of so much drama, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it because it's not hyperbolized like it is in the movies. And if we see a movie that celebrates ordinary events, we can start to see around us that these ordinary events are extraordinary. Our lives are worth talking about in the small minutia. And so the challenge really is making sure we hold the tension tight enough and make it entertaining for you so that we don't feel like movies about regular life are boring. You know, I feel like that would be a failure on our part.
Definitely. All right, time for just one more. We'll go right here. Yes.
That's a great question.
Question is, did the right brother actually get the right letter? Because
Who knows? We don't know.
All right, it's good
That's
to
a great
leave with a
question.
little bit of mystery at the end. We are going to have to wrap it up. I'll just ask you to join me in thanking the remarkable team from Raymond and Ray, Rodrigo García, Ewan McGregor, Ethan Hawke, Maribel Verdú, Sophie Okonedo, Vondie Curtis Hall, Bonnie Curtis and Julie Lynn. Watch it with your families.